So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so week 3 of the NFL season is upon us. And for the Chicago Bears, they will be taking on the Houston Texans on Sunday, looking to rebound from that loss last week. In this video, I'm going to give you all 3 keys to the game and what I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KZ here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears are looking for redemption on Sunday when they play the Houston Texans from that embarrassing blowout against the Packers. This will be a rebound game for them. Hopefully they can come away with the win, but let's see what they can do to be able to come away with this win. So, the first key, of course, they must run the ball against this Texans team. Last week they ran the ball 27 times, which was a lot against that Packers defense. However, they did it too sporadically and too late. So this week, now that you have the Texans coming into town, who are not a very good run-stuffing team, they're like bottom in the league in run defense, and they're not really a good tackling team. So the Bears should be able to run all over them. They should get David Montgomery involved early, maybe give him like 4 or 5 carries on the first drive, and get Khalil Herbert involved too. So the running backs will be a big focus in this game. Obviously, the Texans aren't the best against the run, even with Lovie Smith at the head coaching helm. They're not really good against the run, so I'm looking for the Bears to pound the run game. And hopefully that will set up some play action and hopefully get Fields in rhythm. So yeah, the run game is a big key going into this game because the Texans will not be able to stop it. If the Bears will stick with the run game early and don't go away from it, they will be okay. Second key, Justin Fields must silence the critics this week. Now, last week he didn't have a very good game. He was actually pretty terrible in that game, and he was one of the main reasons we lost that game. Cool. The previous week he didn't play well in the first half, but he had a really good second half. The point I'm trying to make is that the critics are all out and about. The critics and haters are all out and about, and Justin Fields will have to silence them. He's going to have to put together a very good performance, just good enough to be able to silence the critics. He doesn't have to play superstar level, but just good enough to silence the critics. You know, it won't be easy since Lovie Smith is a very good head coach, and he's coaching them Texans well. And they play a very similar style of defense to the Bears with that cover 2 scheme. So either way, Fields will have to rebound big time. You know, just throwing the ball 11 times is not enough. Taking 3 sacks is not enough. You know, he's going to need to rebound big time. I would say about maybe 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, maybe 230 yards passing. Maybe have him throw maybe 25 to 30 times. Maybe 21, 25 times, just to get him in rhythm, get him some short throws, get Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet involved, because we're really having trouble getting this receiving core involved. Part of that's on him, part of that's on the play calling, but mostly it's on him. So he can't sit there and hold the ball either. So he's going to have to put together a great performance, a good performance to silence the critics and haters. I have full confidence that he will be able to, since he doesn't usually have a bad game twice. So we'll see, but he needs to have a good game against this Texans team to be able to rebound and gain some confidence. The third key is defense must play better against this team. They must rebound from that embarrassing showing against the Packers. Too many missed tackles, guys not being where they're supposed to be. Roquan being out of position. You had Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker being out of position. Guys not sealing the outside. And that contributes to all the missed tackles and the one-on-one opportunities that the Packers had with their great running backs. So the Bears defense must play better, especially that run defense. That run defense was atrocious last week. Part of that is because, Packers have a good interior offensive line, but part of it is just that the Bears are really small on their defensive line. They're kind of pass rusher heavy, and that their linebackers are not playing as good as most people expected. Now, I will say this. In a 4-3 scheme, you're going to have to rely on your linebackers a little bit more to make those good tackles and to wrap up the running back in the backfield, or just wrap him up in general. Because last week, it felt like the Bears were getting torched every single play with the run game, and that's just because the linebackers weren't in position where they needed to be. They weren't making the tackles that we needed them to. They were making tackles after 10, 15 yards had been gained. So in a 4-3 defense, your linebackers are really important, and how good they play reflects on that defense. So mainly the linebackers have to play better, but I need to see more from the rookies as well. They made a lot of rookie mistakes, penalties, not being in the correct position on run sets, certain areas of coverage, guy going outside, faking outside, going inside. Just too many mistakes on the defensive end, especially by the rookies, but mainly by the linebacking core. Hopefully they can bounce back this week, but they need to be able to play better than they did last week. This will not be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, but the only bright spot is that the Texans' offense is not all that great themselves. They don't have a lot of big weapons either on both sides of the ball, so this should be a pretty even game. It won't be easy because Lovie Smith is back in Chicago, and he circled this game on his calendar. So I got the Bears winning 24-17. I think the Bears will be able to put together enough points to be able to win the game, but I don't see them, blitzing this Texans team. I think the Texans will keep it close. I told you guys last week I'm not picking against the Bears this game, and mainly because the Texans are just like the Bears. They don't have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, but they're really well coached and they're going to fight hard. Mainly, I expect Justin Fields in the offense to be a little bit more run heavy and, to rebound from that poor showing against the Packers. You're not going against Jair Alexander. You're not going against Kenny Clark. You're not going against Darnell Savage. You're going against guys that have the same skill level as you. So, and two, that interior defensive line for the Texans is not good either, which is why the Bears should be able to run the ball with ease and be able to protect Justin Fields long enough so where he can go through all his reads. So, yeah, 24-17 Bears. Hopefully they can come away with the win. They need this, definitely after last week. There's been a lot of chatter this week, from both the players and the fans. Recently Justin Fields had a little spat with the media and the fans. Luckily that was squashed today. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he can, rebound from that poor showing and prove everybody wrong. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears videos. Leave your prediction in the comment section. I am out. Peace.